in the season opener here in Doha.
So many riders on this grid who perhaps haven't quite delivered, one of those being Javi Vierge at the back of the 5th row there. This is your front row though, Bo Bensnijder, great to have him back here at the sharp end on the Calex. Raul Fernandez, well, who knows what to expect from the rookie here on his debut, flying second on
international circuit in Qatar coming your way. Sam Lowe's on pole position for the 12th time in his intermediate world championship career, with Raul Fernandez and Bo Bensnijder, the sensational Dutch rider there, on row 1. Bezzecchi, Roberts and Remy Gardner on row 2. 3 men who could be fighting for the world championship this year. The Gian Antonio, Navarro and Vietti, they go from row 3. Jake Dixon penalised 3 grid spots, will head row 4 in 10th ahead of Buliga and Canet. Schrotter, Delaporta and Vierge go from row 5. Then it's Chantra, Tom Luthi, the wily old experienced Swissman there in 17th place ahead of the rookie Tony Arbolino. Another rookie, Ayagura, heads row 7. From Ramirez, a surprise starter after his qualifying crash last night. He's ahead of Augusto Fernandez. Bit further down.
Lights, Moto2 2021 is go. Good start there from Bo Bensnijder. Not such a great start from Sam Lowe's. Through comes Marco Bezzecchi as well, and surely Bezzecchi's going to take the lead from the second row. He does! The number 12 rider, the number 72 goes through. It's Bensnijder in second and Lowe's third.
Brilliant launch by one Italian, Marco Bezzecchi. A shocker by Fabio Di Gianantonio. 2 or 3 big wheelies off the line from 7th on the grid. He's already lost quite a few places.
That's Remy Gardner as well. He struggled in these opening laps. He was wide through turn 2, so he's lost a bit of ground early on. Jake Dixon's made a good start from 10th on the grid. He's up into the top 6, but it's Bezzecchi that leads.
Looked like Dixon as well there was picking up Joe Roberts. He was through turns 5 and 6, so Dixon getting the gloves off early on here as well.
Here we go, a move. The door was open. Sam Lowe's takes it straight through at turn 6 for Sam Lowe's then. So now he's got his eyes on the prize up ahead. Marco Bezzecchi, who leads this one. There is Raul Fernandez, number 25. The best of starts from the line, but he's still in contention.
Now the question mark for Jake Dixon fans, of course, is that almost career-ending wrist injury suffered at the back end of last season in Valencia. He's only been able to do about 4 or 5 laps in a row this weekend, so this is an unknown territory for him. 20 laps of the Grand Prix. Joe Roberts retaliating there.
Yeah, Remy Gardner getting a bit beaten up in the early laps here. Roberts going through on Gardner. Bensnijder was a bit wide a moment ago. Immediate retaliation there from Gardner, though. Back on Roberts.
It's nicely done as well by a rookie, Celestino Vietti, on Jorge Navarro through the right-handers. Vietti was excellent last night. A fantastic 9th place on the grid as Lowe's starts to hone in on Marco Bezzecchi at the end of this opening lap in Moto2.
There is Sam Lowe's then trying to find a way through. Is he going to try and line up the slipstream here on the start-finish straight at the end of lap 1? It will be Bezzecchi who leads across the line from Lowe's, Bensnijder, Fernandez and Jake Dixon.
It really didn't take long for the cream to rise to the top here, did it, in Moto2 2021? Bezzecchi and Lowe's already putting a bit of daylight between themselves and Fernandez, who's going to pinch 3rd place from Bensnijder with the slipstream. He does punch a pretty big hole in the air, doesn't he, Bo Bensnijder? He's well over 6 foot, one of the tallest men in this field.
Yeah, good move that from the rookie Raul Fernandez, who looks anything... He looks like he's been in this championship for just years and years and years. It's incredible, isn't it? Now, who's this? It's Marcos Ramirez, and that's not the biggest surprise we've seen. He's attempted it. It's just not worth the risk for the Spanish rider. He retires on the opening lap.
Get the start money at least.
That's very true. Sam Lowe's here. Will he go through? The door was open, but he thinks better of it at turn 6. Still, it's Bezzecchi who we're on board with now. Looking back to Sam Lowe's, number 22 in 3rd, 25.
Last night, he started 9th. He's currently holding station in 9th place as well, keeping some pretty illustrious company around him.
Raul Fernandez there. Sorry, Marcos Ramirez there. Making the right call, I think. It's going to take these guys a couple of laps just to kind of work out which direction the wind's going. Where can we push? Where should we not push? So I'm not expecting to see any major lap times coming in just yet, as they all settle into this race in Moto2. It is Bezzecchi and Lowe's 1 and 2 from the rookie Raul Fernandez.
The Gian Antonio's regrouped pretty well from the wheelie way off the line. He's up into the top 6 again, so it's been a really strong recovery from the Italian there on the 21 bike, just tucked in behind Jake Dixon. MotoGP ban next year with the Gresini team, which is going to honour Fausto Gresini's memory by continuing MotoGP.
Bezzecchi seems to be having more trouble containing Ralph Fernandez at the moment, the number 25 rookie in third place. Here comes Remy Gardner trying to challenge 64 Bezzecchi, but here comes Remy Gardner. He's swarming all over the tail unit of number 72.
It's coming at... Oh, it was coming at 9.
Oh, it's going well wide there.
Oh, you've got to be careful
really
now.
Deep.
He's right out on that dirty, dusty part of the circuit, Remy Gardner. You can see the sand being kicked up off his rear tyre. He just got out of shape. Nothing.
Oh, he's way too heavy there. Fabio Di Giannantonio. He's going to lose 3 or 4 places.
He's nearly in Bahrain, the Formula 1 race.
Across the line we go then to complete the 4th lap and begin lap 5. Sam Lowes with an 0.8 of a second lead now over Ralph Fernandez.
Back-to-back high 159, Steve, from Lowes. Another PB lap from the Brit.
Race, I think those are really going to hurt Dixon with that injury he's still trying to recover from. On board with him now, the number 96, looking up towards Marco Bezzecchi.
Jake Dixon did not do the testing kilometres anything like those around him. So he's not been on a motorcycle for too long in 2021. It was a real arduous, long rehabilitation. Like we said, I mean, the doctors, when he went with the knife, I mean, that wrist was completely smashed to smithereens in that Valencia crash. They said it's...
Although Jake Dixon is standing firm and just holds on for now to 4th place.
Sam Lowes lost half a second on that last lap. He did a 2:00.293. He'd done a 59.8 and a 59.7 just before that.
Yeah.
And that means that Ralph Fernandez has gobbled him straight back up, because Fernandez did a PB lap of 59.
To see that Sam Lowes has lost some time as Di Giannantonio. Again, great battle with Bo Bensnyder.
Really pleased to see 2 guys there, Steve, in that shot, getting a crack on the Kalex chassis. First time this year for the pair of them, and people keep saying, oh, well, you know, let's see what they can do on the best motorcycle. Well, they're showing exactly it's all offline here, so you've got to make sure that your moves are inch perfect.
Yeah, and also you can lose so much time with a block pass. You've got to try and be clever, and here comes Remy Gardner, so quick as we approach the final sectors.
Yeah, and if you do botch the overtake and you do run wide, then it means you've got to try and recover the time. That means you're going to have to stress the tyres that little bit more.
He's got to try and get the drive here out of turn 16, and that's nice, and they're side by side there. Oof, that was really close. Now into the slipstream.
Bezzecchi at least knows he's there, that's for sure.
But again, on the start-finish straight, 3rd place, he runs it a little bit wide on the exit.
Yeah, you can see how much Bezzecchi was having to work to keep Gardner behind him. On that last lap, Bezzecchi did his fastest lap of the race, a PB from him, but it's not big part here now. Play the long game. It's a really long championship. If he hasn't got the pace of the 3 men ahead of him, just try and make sure the next goal is to bring it home, see the checkered flag. Don't do anything silly, take big risks trying to recover a gap that you can't really manage.
Still a lot of race left here. We're on lap 8. There are 13.
Canet and Dalla Porta up to 16th place, and now all over the rear tyre of Augusto Fernandez. Great job.
Yeah, he's keeping good company. Fellow American Joe Roberts goes through on Jake Dixon. So Roberts then is up now into 5th place.
With that little bit of lack of race experience on the Kalex chassis, it seems to be hurting Bo Bensnyder at the moment. He's just been picked off by Jorge Navarro, who himself got in the 59s on that last lap. So Navarro up into 8th spot. Chalice very quickly, because you can see Lowes is starting to open up quite a significant advantage.
Yeah, and it was a block pass as well, Matt, which he had to pull off, which again will lose him a couple of tenths of a second. He's got it all to do, it has. Yeah, 1.3 the gap then that Remy Gardner now has to bridge. Further back, Di Giannantonio is now up into 6th. He's gone through on Jake then. Didn't look like he'd done an awful lot wrong there. His first race back with forward racing, unfortunately, has gone backwards, and he's in the gravel trap.
Yeah, team boss there in the middle, Milena Kerner, grey-haired Gianni Cazzari, the team owner, is out until Portimao at least.
So the gap stays at 1.3. Remy Gardner's got 11 laps to change it.
He's got some work to do here as well, Steve, because Sam Lowes, it's hammer down, big style. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix has just been set by the British rider, 59.529. Only a couple of tenths, 3 tenths faster than the Aussie behind him, but just enough to keep that buffer at 1.3 seconds.
Right about that battle further back for the points. The likes of Canet, Bovier, Dalla Porta, Arbolino and Manzi all right with each other. Tom Luthi as well has been changed as Gian Antonio goes through and sits up Joe Roberts. In the latter stages of races in Moto2 last year, a few riders' tyres went away from them, and the time differences, Matt, can sometimes be so drastic.
Remember last year, I mean, we'd pretty much called Luca Marini winning the Grand Prix. Led for so long, 3/4 distance, and his front tyre just dropped off a cliff, didn't it?
It did, and that can happen in Moto2. So, Hector Gartho, who ended last year, them out of his sight. This is the battle you're watching here for 5th, 6th and 7th. 10 laps to go. The gap at the front, 1.4 between Lowe's and Gardner.
Yeah, and there are two standout men at the moment out on circuit. No great surprise, it's the top two men now, the only guys that have kept in the 159s. New territory for him now. He's got no experience of a full race distance in Moto2. Marco Bezzecchi behind him may well just be thinking, the rookie, his tyres might desert him towards the end of this race.
He'll be hoping.
Yeah, well, he's certainly been hoping. Turn 2 for the race leader, Sam Lowe's, safely negotiated this time around, thankfully. He didn't make it this far round in the warm-up session earlier on this evening.
Well, the back end of last year, before the big crash that pretty much ended his chances of winning the championship each time he laps this 5.3-kilometre circuit in Qatar. If it stays at just above a second, he'll feel pretty comfortable with that. But anything under a second, and the Jaws music might start coming on.
You know, Bobier's in a cracking scrap. Yeah, hey.
We're going to look at a replay of it now.
It's coming into turn 9, isn't it?
Oh, Canet might have something to do with this. There's contact between 44 and 97, and the front just gives way. That will be investigated, perhaps at the end of the race.
Take a bow, Jake Dixon.
Further back that you're looking at for 19th place between Iagura and Lorenzo Dalla Porta, who's not 10th, because that's a bit far away, but
brilliant. You know, he's got no experience of how these Dunlop tyres are going to behave at this stage of the race. Very little experience of how the bike characteristics will change. Bezzecchi's picking up some pretty decent slipstream here as well. There's going to be a headwind bashing into the front of Ralph Fernandez, and Bezzecchi with clear air just eases on through. Bezzecchi then takes third place.
Yeah, nicely done from Marco Bezzecchi. He goes through on Ralph Fernandez then. He's just being given the info that Bezzecchi's lapping pretty well at the moment, and he might just lose another spot. The door was open, that was coming from a few corners ago, so unfortunately Ralph Fernandez drops down a place. They like it in Grassini, that keeps him in the hunt for a podium.
And this would be an emotional podium, to say the least. After everything close enough, here we go. He's got good corner speed through 5. Not quite close enough, is he?
On board with Bezzecchi in third place. Twitch there from Bezzecchi, and again as well. That will give confidence to Fabio Di Gianantonio. Surely there's a move coming somewhere.
Well, that's at turn 9, and Bezzecchi defended quite brilliantly. There was no way through there for Di Gianantonio. What about through the fast rights? Here they come then, attacking turn 11, and Di Gianantonio's gone for it. That was brilliant.
Brave, brilliant, great move from Fabio Di Gianantonio. He takes third spot from Bezzecchi, but can he hold on to it? There's definite retaliation coming here from Bezzecchi.
Late fall for Somkiat Chantra. 2 corners to go then between Fabio Di Gianantonio and a very emotional podium here in Moto2. Sam Lowe surely has it covered. He runs a tight defensive line, Di Gianantonio into the final corner. What about Marco Bezzecchi? Can he pick up some slipstream? And here, Sam Lowe's is your winner.
Sam Lowe's wins here in Qatar. A fantastic effort from him, with Gardner in second. And off a third though. Oh, it's close. It's so close. That's a photo finish.
He got it.
Wow, Di Gianantonio has pinched it. Third spot for him, the Grassini team.
Incredible
what
scenes.
A moment.
Oh, what incredibly emotional scenes down in Grassini Racing. All they kick off 2021. He's your first winner in Moto2. Remy Gardner takes a richly deserved Grassini.